Hello. I'm so excited. We finished. Well, hello. Hello, how are you? Jumping to the... we finished The House in Fata Morgana. We finished A Requiem for Innocence. And we've unlocked Reincarnation and the short stories, but Reincarnation is the focus today. Oh yeah. I'm so excited to start this. For all of the harrowing bullshit that Requiem for Innocence was, this is much lighter. Not to say that there aren't any problems, but it's much less harrowing, comparatively speaking. Now, preface. This actually is voice acted in the Japanese dub, and this version does come with the Japanese voices. However, I would like for you to purchase this game and support the creators. Ergo, I will be voicing everybody. So, if you really want to know what they sound like voice acted, you should go buy the game. Just saying. Anyway, oh my gosh, let's not even delay. Let's just get into this, eh? Yay! Yay! Oh god, I forgot how it started.
Well, I'll be off then.
Alright.
I didn't think it would be so difficult to come up with parting words.
You can say whatever you like. The first thing that comes to mind is fine.
Okay, then I'll say the same to you. I'll say to you the same thing I said to them. Farewell, Michel, until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate.
Farewell, indeed.
If, however, if, by some infinitesimally low chance, we do happen to meet again, would you be my friend?
Morgana, absolutely. I wouldn't want it any other way.
I'm not a nice person, you know. I'm nothing like the white-haired girl. I'm sure to be off-putting and rude, to cause you much grief and pain.
Don't worry. I'm resilient enough to handle a little pain without pulling away. You're fine as you are. You don't need to change. So let's meet up in our next lives and become good friends.
I'm glad to have had you in my life, Michel. And thank you for everything.
I still vividly remember that moment. The vow we made in that illusory gathering place of souls, that we would be friends in our next life. The life I now live, with the memories ingrained on my soul, born into a new body of flesh. The world miracle can hardly begin to describe what it means for me to be here in this world again, to have reunited with Giselle. I believe that I'm here now because Morgana prayed for it to be so. She said she was neither a witch nor a saint anymore, just an ordinary powerless soul. She said her wishes would not cause any more miracles. Yet a miracle did occur. My new life was Morgana's final miracle. However, I have still yet to cross paths with her again. Morgana, where could you be now? Are you somewhere in this vast world? I pray that you are. By your prayers was I given life, and by my prayers may you as well. I would soon like to make good on my word and become your friend. The emotions.
Late March. What year?
I want to say this takes place in the 2010s.
Okay, let's see. This is the bus stop where we were supposed to meet up, I think.
This is such a lovely, peaceful area. Not too far outside the city and easy to get around, too. Did I show up too early? I mean, I did let him know I was on my way. I know it's the 11th hour here, but I'm starting to get butterflies. I'm going to be living here from today forth. Everything's gone so unbelievably smoothly, it feels almost unreal, like it's all a dream. Do I look all right? My hair's not a mess, my skirt's all straight and unwrinkled, my makeup isn't smudged. I did remember to brush my teeth, right? Oh, what else? What else? Giselle! Michelle? Why the squeal? Nothing, don't worry about it. Try that again. Good morning, Michelle. And thank goodness I got the right place. It would have taken an impressive effort to miss the bus stop. Anyway, apologies for keeping you waiting. Also, this is not Moyataro's art. This is Kanemune, the person who is doing the art for their new project and did the manga art. I love how Kanemune draws women. Okay, moving on. Oh no, not at all. I actually did just arrive this time. So, I'm getting kind of flustered. Flustered over what? You're fidgeting like a small child. All I did was come down to meet you. Is there something wrong with my outfit? No, it's nothing to do with you. Well, it is about you, but not like that. It's just, I'm moving here. I'm going to be living with you. Just thinking about it makes me want to jump up and do a little dance. I don't even understand how you can be so calm. Turn it down a notch, Giselle, please. You're drawing attention. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. But that doesn't mean I'm any less over the moon about it. Don't tell me you don't feel the same way, Michelle. Of course I'm thrilled. You were at my old place all the time before this. We practically lived together already, so I can't say it really feels any different than usual. You what? This is a huge occasion! Be more excited! You're making me feel like I'm the only one who cares. Is everything going to turn into a huge occasion? I can't imagine how she's going to react when it comes time for our wedding. I can be more excited if you want, though I get the feeling you'd think something was wrong if I ran up pumping my fists and shouting, hell yeah. Okay, good point. If you came out acting like that, I wonder if you had eaten something funny. You're right, just be yourself. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I have been very much looking forward to this day as well. I'm glad to be here too. So how far is it to our new place? Well, you're looking right at it. Oh, which building is it? The apartment building with the blue roof over there? It looks lovely. No, not that one. I mean right here. The 4-story building with all the ivy. What? What? Isn't that a bit gigantic? Isn't that a bit extravagant? Isn't that a bit, oh my heavens? What are your parents, royalty? How can they afford to just give you such a fancy apartment building and then go off and buy a new place for themselves? In what way does that not count as extravagantly wealthy? Do they swim in a money vault too? Giselle, you're shouting again. People are looking at us. I'm so sorry. I got a bit wound up there. While the building does look quite nice from the outside, it's getting rather creaky and will need a good deal of fixing up. Not to mention my parents just inherited the property from my grandparents. They're not really anything special. And they're certainly not swimming in cash, no. You can't keep a property like this in the family for multiple generations without lots of money. Is that actually the case? I'm not sure. Though now that I think about it, even back then, I've never been want for a roof over my head, huh? Things were pretty difficult in other ways, though. Michelle, promise me you won't go using your family's riches to get yourself a harem of concubines, okay? What in God's name kind of man do you think I am? I'm just kidding. I know you would never do anything of the sort, Michelle. I would rather you didn't even joke about that, please. It reminds me of my father from back then. Oh, right. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking at all. My heart belongs to you alone. I don't have to tell you that, though.
I don't care how obvious it is. I still love to hear you say it. You should do it more often.
I'll keep it in mind. Maybe not in public so often. Okay, how about we get going then? This way. Roughly a year after we were finally reunited, arrangements for the two of us to move into an apartment together on the outskirts of the city were finally complete. It was a well-weathered 4-story building passed down to me from my parents, but it was still rather nice for its age. In this day and age, having a guaranteed place to live seemed to be quite the advantage. In fact, my colleagues sometimes poked fun at me, saying I had it way too easy. I couldn't help but chuckle when they did, although at least as far as the modern era was concerned, they weren't exactly wrong either. That didn't mean I was just going to twiddle my thumbs and coast through life on my good fortune, though. I kept myself nice and busy with work. And while I was generally more optimistic than in the past, anxiety about an uncertain future seemed to be hardwired into me. Mood. A coworker once asked, "Why do you work so hard when you've already got everything?" To which I obviously couldn't respond, because my previous life taught me that nothing in this world is guaranteed. So I brushed the question off with a vague, "That's just the way I am." My inability to be complacent in anything, even in my new life, was, in its own way, a challenge, but it had its benefits too. Knowing what I'd been through before helped me better appreciate what I had now. And knowing what life was back then helped me understand exactly how easy things were now. Any obstacles I ran into felt trivial compared to back then.
Wow, there's even a courtyard. I wasn't expecting anything like this.
My parents tell me that people in this area are quite like throwing parties and barbecues and such when summertime comes around.
There's something just unbelievably wrong about you saying the word barbecue, Michelle. What about you? Do you like to throw barbecues too, Michelle?
Hardly. What kind of madness would compel me to willingly subject myself to hours under the sun, standing out over a hot grill cooking meat and engaging in small talk with people I hardly know?
King. God, you're so right. Oh my god, he's so right. So true, bestie. I should have seen that one coming. What's behind the door there? It's too dark to see inside.
It's not being used for anything right now. I'm planning to have it renovated so I can rent it out in the near future.
I see. So there'll be even more rooms then. I wonder what it used to be, though.
What indeed?
Thanks for having me.
Giselle, you are not a guest. You live here now.
Oh, right. I do, don't I? This place just feels way too luxurious to be mine, you know?
It's not that extravagant. You act like you've never been in a building like this before.
I'm just your run-of-the-mill commoner girl. Always have been and always will be. I haven't been all aristocratified like you. It's going to take some time for me to adjust.
Aristocratified.
That I was just about to say, is that a word?
Now she's making up words.
This really is a lovely living room, though. The windows are nice and big and let in tons of light, and you have a spacious veranda, too. This is like a complete 180 from the dark, dreary place you had back then. It's not musty, I'm not choking on dust, and there aren't even any decomposing parsnips in the corner. No boarding up the windows for you this time.
I wasn't the one who boarded them up in the first place, and if they weren't covered, I probably would have been found. But in any event, I'm glad you like it.
Anyone would love to live in a place as wonderful as this. Yeah, I will live there in a heartbeat. Just not in Paris.
She seems genuinely happy with it, and a smile like that is infectious. I'm glad I took the time to remodel everything. The property itself may not have cost me anything, but making the interior not look several decades old was an arduous process. I'll be keeping that part to myself, though.
You keep this place clean, I see. I was worried I'd have to get to work making the place habitable first thing again.
Your first visit a year ago was a bit unexpected, but I had plenty of time to make sure things were ready for today. The bedroom isn't quite as pleasant. a sight, though. I just stacked all your belongings up in there for you.
Ooh, thank you. You could have just left it at the door and had me bring it in, you know?
You know I couldn't do that. Though I will conveniently forget to mention that the first box I opened contained her underwear, and I couldn't bring myself to unpack anything after that.
Well, I suppose we should start unpacking then.
That we should. Although, just so you know, I haven't had time to get a wardrobe or anything. The living room's all set up, but everything else is still barren.
Yeah, you were busy with the big project just before the move. Well, you must have been pretty swamped, judging from the awful bags you had under your eyes every time I saw you.
That was part of it, yes. But mostly I just thought you might want to choose something you liked, and that maybe we could go out shopping for furniture together.
This is so domestic I could die. Oh, of course! I would love that! This is so exciting! It feels almost like we're newlyweds. Or not, maybe.
That... it does. Although I guess there's nothing actually preventing us from getting married right now, is there? But that's not something I just want to throw out there casually, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way. We moved in together, might as well get married while we're at it, but probably wouldn't go over very well. What if I'm overthinking this whole thing, though? It's Giselle. There's a good chance she'd be happy no matter the circumstances. Not to mention it would be out of character for me to get on my knee, pull out a bouquet and ring, and propose to her beneath the moonlight.
Do it anyway.
I have a bad enough tendency to try to find the perfect moment to say something, only to never end up doing it. I should just quit thinking about it and do it right now.
Anyway, we should get right on that. Come on, Michelle, let's go furniture shopping.
Coming.
I noticed the roses in the middle, the little yellow roses. I see that. I see that design. There's just so much to choose from.
But still nothing that quite felt right.
There were so many lovely wardrobes, but nothing that really shouted, we're spending our whole life together.
That seems like a bit much weight to put into a simple wardrobe.
But I did get a bunch of catalogs, so let's look at them later. We'll sit side by side and flip through every page together, one by one.
How long is it going to take to get all our furniture if we're going to these lengths for a simple wardrobe? Online shopping is also an option now, so we could always look for something nice that way.
Maybe, but I enjoy wandering around different shops with you more. You can't build up a good attachment to your furniture by just clicking add to cart on some big internet store. It's better to see all your options in person and discuss what we think fits best.
I'm not sure how I see how there's a difference, though I do agree it was a rather enjoyable experience.
Yeah, I do like furniture shopping in person more. It's more fun.
That said, if I were doing this with anyone but Giselle, I'd thrown in the towel and bought the thing online straight away.
I've worked up an appetite from all that walking. You want to get lunch somewhere nearby while we're at it? While we're here? Whatever.
Yes, let's. There's a place not too far.
You what? You can't just drop that on me now, out of nowhere, bitch!
That was quite the shout. Someone in an argument, maybe? And I get the strangest feeling I've heard that voice somewhere before.
She's right. I recognize that voice too. Normally I prefer to get as far away from trouble as soon as possible. Let's take a closer look.
Yeah, you told me it was just a fun little thing you were doing when you gave me the job, but that doesn't mean you can call me out of the blue and say you're shutting the damn place down. I can't just pull a new job out of my ass. I need time to find... Excuse me? I don't give a shit if you have a customer. Don't hang up. Ah, son of a bitch. You actually hang up. God, I'm fuming. Harry thought I was a decent guy, but nope. I just made an ass out of myself. Friggin' old fart. Don't open a damn restaurant if you're not serious about it.
Oh.
The hell's your problem? This ain't none of your business. Piss off. Maria? Huh? What? How do you know my name? Have we met somewhere?
Have we met? We worked together in the mansion!
Huh? Mansion? I don't remember ever taking any housekeeping gigs.
I wasn't thinking and started talking to her like I do Michelle, but I don't actually know if she remembers anything from before. And judging from her reaction, I don't think she does.
You come by the cafe sometime, maybe? I swear I remember a couple like you, though. You don't exactly blend into the crowd.
The cafe? The cafe was really busy that day, so you probably didn't notice us.
Excuse me? That hole in the wall hasn't been busy once this whole damn year.
Oh, well, then I guess, yeah, I must have mistaken you for someone else.
Someone who looks like me and has the same name? I got a fucking doppelganger?
This is starting to remind me of my encounter with Mel. I should throw her a line. Never mind us. Is there something the matter? You're making quite the racket.
Not really something I should go yapping to strangers on the street, but nah, fuck it. I'm in the mood to let off some steam. The asshole owner of the cafe where I work decided he was shutting the place down out of the blue. Can you believe that?
Really? He's just closing down shop today? That's terrible. Doesn't he know anything about labor laws?
Labor laws? You go straight for the book, huh, lady?
If you can't get through to them with words, what other choice do you have?
I mean, sure, if I wanted to, I could take it to court, I guess. But honestly, I don't think I give enough of a crap.
The Maria I know wouldn't back off with her tail between her legs.
The Maria you know? You mean my doppelganger? Anyway, I am planning to give him a piece of my mind. But the job was never going to be a permanent thing, and I was thinking about looking for something new soon anyway. So it was really just a matter of time. But that doesn't mean he can just call me out of the blue and say, yeah, I'm shuttering the operation today, find something new, and expect me not to get pissed about it, you know? Give me some advance warning, asshole. I need time to start looking for something new. You may not have had anything on the line here, but I got my whole damn life. So while I'm not going to give him a taste of the law, I am going to give him a taste of my fist. Speaking of law.
Happy anniversary, Ace Attorney. Which is likely to get you involved with the law regardless.
I feel a bit better after venting to you. Not that anything's actually better.
That's quite the pickle. I wish there was something I could do to help, but I don't have any leads. If you find yourself without a roof over your head, please let us know. I manage an apartment building on the edge of town.
Huh?
Maria?
What are you guys, like con artists or something?
Why would you think that? We're offering you this from the goodness of our hearts. The goodness of our hearts!
Snowball's chance in hell you are. No one will offer a friggin' apartment to someone they just met on the damn streets.
We just feel like it was destiny that brought us together.
Ugh, you're totally con artist, lady. Either that or you're trying to trick me into joining some shady cult.
I swear, we just want to help, nothing more. I realize you're skeptical, and that's perfectly understandable. We are genuinely concerned after hearing what you're going through, but we have no intention of forcing anything on you. I know it doesn't prove I'm telling the truth, but here's my business card. Hopefully it will at least help put your mind at ease. どうぞ受け取ってくださいみたいな. Wow, you're not fumbling through a social interaction for once. Normally I'm the one who has to get you out of your own messes. That was how many hundreds of years ago?
You can get business cards that say whatever the hell you want, but whatever. Sure, I'll take it. There is still a chance of just stupidly friendly strangers and not trying to rob me blind.
I don't know about that either, but I can at least promise you we mean you no harm.
Well, I'll just have to take your word for it. Thanks for the card. You might hear from me if I find myself neck deep in some real shit.
I don't know how to read today. You can call us before it gets that bad. Don't hesitate.
Sure. You really are pushy about this, lady.
Just being friendly. Maria has a tendency to run wild when things get too bad, and I'd rather not see that happen to her again.
I'll take a chance on your not being con artist and give you my card too. Of course, it's outdated now that I'm out of a job. You can call or text or whatever if you need me for something.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, I gotta go give that cockstain a tongue lashing. Thanks for hearing this poor stranger out.
Oh no, don't mention it. I only ask that you not do something to get the police called on you.
Don't worry, I won't. Probably. Anyway, I'm out. Who knows? Maybe we'll see each other again.
Bye, Maria. Maria's the last person I expected to run into today. Wow. It caught me completely off guard as well, though it appears she doesn't remember us. Yeah, I guess that's how it's supposed to be for normal people, but I'm still kind of sad. Though even if she did have those memories, I never actually met her in life. I almost prefer this to the alternative, where she recognizes Giselle but not me. You okay, Michelle? You're spacing out there. I'm fine, yeah. I was just thinking that even if she did remember you, it would only be you as the maid, not as you are now. Oh, you're absolutely right. She still hasn't apologized for calling me a creep. You still haven't let that one go? If Maria's here, I wonder if that means everyone else is too. It's certainly possible. Maybe you will get your wish of having that 1,000-year class reunion. Imagine what a sight that would be if they were brought together again without the power of the curse. Maybe their relationships wouldn't have to end in tragedy. I certainly hope so. I don't want anything like that to happen ever again. And if they do all come together, will you be there with everyone else? Or was the white-haired girl correct in saying that your soul is no longer able to take human form? Morgana. These are some very pretty backgrounds. We had memories of the distant past, not merely of when we were children, but of our previous lives, of our time in the period known as the Middle Ages, of a cursed mansion that wandered the earth across centuries, of a time beyond time, where my soul bore witness to numerous tragedies centered upon that mansion, and of my encounters with the souls bound together by the threads of its curse. But ever since reuniting with Giselle in this era, those memories have begun fading away. Or perhaps they were simply filed away with other memories I had little need to dig out anymore. A small part of me was saddened by that fact, as it felt like I was letting go of an important part of myself, but I chose to view it in a positive light. That I had come to terms with everything that had happened. That the most important thing to me now was to live my life alongside her. As the older memories faded, they made room for new ones. And we had many, many years of new memories ahead of us. So I settled on leaving the past in the past to focus on building up my new relationships. And I didn't regret that decision. I had loving parents and friendly, easygoing coworkers, neither of which I'd had in my previous life. Hatred and animosity were no longer constant fixtures in my life. I couldn't say my life had been entirely ridden of fears and anxieties, though. There was still the issue of deciding who I was, who I wanted to be. But I had reached a conclusion on that as well. My body, the source of so much pain and suffering, the cause of great tragedy, and something I had been conditioned to be ashamed of, was now simply a part of who I was, and not the cause for any sort of concern. Which is to say, I was free. With this newfound life of my own, I felt no need to cross paths with those from my past life, and could instead focus upon forging my own path. If they even were here in the same era, they too had their own lives. And that was the proper order of things. Nevertheless, it seemed the threads of fate were not so easy to untangle, and our chance encounter with Maria felt like a snowball beginning to roll down a hill. We talked at length about our past lives, both on the way home and as we ate supper. All it took was one little thing to break the dam holding back our memories. Most of my time in that mansion was, frankly, miserable. There were things that made me sick just thinking about them. Not everything in my life had been cleanly wrapped up, nor had I let go of all my grudges against those who had hurt me. But I also understood that this pain had helped to mold me into the man I was now, so I couldn't simply categorize all those memories as unequivocally bad. While I could hardly say I valued them, I did feel like they were important to who I was. And I hoped that if Morgana was in this world as well, and if she had all her past memories like the two of us, that they were not merely a source of pain for her. While our memories allowed us to move forward, it was just as likely hers would have the opposite effect. So for this girl whose existence I couldn't even be sure of, I prayed that her past would not become her ball and chain. That night, I had a strange dream. My view was hazy, and I couldn't tell where
or even when I was. My feet weren't on the ground. It seemed I didn't exist in that place at all. I felt as though I was looking down upon someone, and as though I was lurking within them. As though I was part of the world itself. A voice crying in despair. Tears rolling down cheeks. Slouched shoulders, near but forever out of reach. It wasn't unlike the dreamlike worlds I had traversed countless years ago, a powerless observer of events long past.
Michelle, when you set me free, it was the witch you released, not the girl. Pulling back the curtain was enough to stop me from being a witch. But what lay beyond that curtain is just a source of new pain for the powerless girl I've become.
Is that you, Morgana? Where are you? It's so dark. I can't make anything out. Your voice is so distant. Like there's a giant wall between us.
Michelle, will you offer salvation to this powerless girl as well? Will you take my hand once again?
Morgana, I thought that breaking the mansion's curse and releasing everyone would provide everyone trapped within its salvation. I believed doing so would make everything better, and I still stand by that much. Nothing good would have come from leaving the mansion to rot away in its curse for eternity. But if by doing so, I have caused you even more pain, then I want to find you and do what I can to help. I'm just not sure if that's the right thing to do. If offering you my hand once more will actually provide you the relief you need. It's a morning like any other, albeit a little bit more lively and smelling a bit nicer.
Good morning, Michelle. Breakfast is ready and waiting.
Good morning, Giselle. You're up rather early. You could have woken me.
Oh, the piano version of her theme. Woo.
I'm more than happy to help too. Unlike my previous life, I can handle most day-to-day tasks well enough, so don't feel like you have to do everything.
Get back to me when you can cook an egg without burning it. Anyway, I was in a cooking mood today. I like making things, so I don't mind at all. Now to your seat with you.
Well, if you insist. Thank you.
Oh no, not at all. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves, if you would like.
Water, please.
What? You couldn't even play along for one exchange?
It's kind of charming how she likes to play at being the maid from time to time, but it's difficult to know how to react. Besides, we don't have any chamomile. Chamomile? Is it chamomile or chamomile? I don't know.
Here's your water, straight from the faucet. How dreadfully dull.
I'm not sure what to tell you about that.
After being the maid for 1,000 years, I get urges to serve. Also, maybe it's my imagination, but you're looking a little under the weather.
What? I am? I guess I slept pretty lightly last night, so I am a little tired.
What happened? I didn't roll over and kick you in the face or something, did I?
You're a very sound sleeper, as I learned in our previous life. But no, I had a rather peculiar dream.
What kind of dream?
It was about Morgana. She was pleading for help. It was probably just a dream. I presume it was brought on by our encounter with Maria yesterday, with my subconscious then connected to Morgana.
I don't know. Dreams like that usually have meaning, I feel. It could be a premonition she's in trouble, or maybe it's a sign of some sort.
You certainly are taking this dream quite seriously.
Of course I am. It's your dream we're talking about here. If you saw her, that has to mean something. And if it turns out to be nothing, then it's nothing, and we can have a little laugh about the whole thing. But assuming the dream is a premonition, it means she's alive now too, and she's going through tough times. We have to find her and help her through it.
You're right.
Did anything else about the dream stick out to you?
I'm not sure how to articulate it, but the dream was very hazy. And I'm not even certain it was based in the present.
Huh? What do you mean?
Do you remember when the two of us attempted to change the past?
Of course I remember it vividly. The world we went into was a recreation of the past, as opposed to the real thing. But your hard work there convinced everyone to be better, and you even managed to clear up Morgana's misconceptions. No one can deny that. So what about it?
One night while we were there, I had a dream in which I encountered Morgana. Not as a witch, but when she was still alive, as a saint. It was a dream of a time no longer.
And you think last night's dream was the same sort of thing?
It felt similar, yes. So even if she is having difficulties, it may very well be from another time. Which would mean there's nothing I can do to help. To say nothing of the fact we don't even know where she is. So while it is curious, I don't think there's much to be gained in worrying ourselves to death over it.
We could sketch a picture of her and put up missing posters.
You make it sound like she's a lost cat.
But we wouldn't have a good answer for anyone who wanted to know what our relation was to her. We knew her in a past life, would get the cops called on us 9 times out of 10.
We'll do what we can. Besides, I expect we will cross paths again, assuming our fates have not been permanently rent.
Absolutely! We ran into Maria after all. There's no reason to believe she'll be the only one. And if we do meet Morgana and she's having trouble of some kind, we'll do everything we can to help her through it.
Yes, we will. I suppose there's not much room for us to refute that stupidly friendly accusation, is there? Morgana was in large part responsible for Giselle's centuries-long tragedy. But she holds no grudge over that, and even actively seeks to offer her a helping hand. This isn't the first time, either.
What are you laughing about? I didn't say anything funny, did I?
Nothing. I was just thinking about how blessed I am to have fallen in love with you.
Huh? Where did that come from?
You've always been such a brilliant light of my life. Both this one and the last.
Yeah. You can't just pull that on me first thing in the morning. Also, you're the same to me, so... Oh, geez, now breakfast's all cold. Come on, let's hurry before it gets any worse.
She asks me to express my love more often, but whenever I do, it always ends up like this.
That was very cute. They're very cute.
On a somewhat related note, do you have any particular desire moving forward?
Well, First, I'd like to get the rest of the furniture we need. After that, the spice cabinet is looking a little lonely.
Oh, I didn't mean the immediate future, but more like long term. I'm curious if you have an image of what you want to do now that you're free from the stress of university life.
I know it sounds cheesy, but I would be happy with any kind of life, as long as it's with you, Michelle.
I see.
But, well, if we're talking about dreams, then I think I've told you this before, but I want to open a shop one day. I haven't thought about any specifics yet, though. I studied economics in school, but I'm not really interested in big business like that. I'd like to do something more modest, like a local family store or something. So my degree's not going to be much use, as it turns out. Don't worry, dear, that happens a lot. It's the hard truth. My first step, I think, is to find some place that will hire me, so I can get the experience to handle whatever may come my way. And after seeing what Maria went through, I know I can't just take the first thing that falls into my lap.
A shop.
What's on your mind?
I'll let you know after it's had time to simmer.
Now, is it perhaps that you prefer to have a stay-at-home partner?
Oh, heavens no. Everyone should be able to do what they want with their life. I never would have brought it up if I felt otherwise.
True. Although even if you had said, no, I am this house's breadwinner, I probably would have fought you on it. We may have the whole world at our fingertips in this era, but no search engine can predict the future. And if ever the time comes, I need to be able to support you.
She has her act together so much better than me.
Let's make the most of every day we have together, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
They're so cute I could die.
I just could die. We spent the day hunting for furniture, as we had the previous. It was challenging, but eventually we found a wardrobe that felt right. We bought dishes, toiletries, and a number of other daily necessities. With everything in its place, our apartment finally started to feel like a real home. Once we made it past the hurdle of actually moving in, life quickly settled back into its uneventful routine. The fact that it had been a full year since we were reunited made it easier to smoothly transition into normal, everyday life. Time trekked onward, my days busy but largely unremarkable, and with no further unusual dreams to interrupt them. And then, before I realized it, a week had come and gone. That afternoon, I led Giselle out to the apartment building's courtyard. And then I made her a proposition. The idea I had hesitated to bring up a week earlier.
What? You can't be serious!
Giselle, take it down a notch. You're going to disturb the other residents.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I need an explanation. What do you mean, do I want to try running a cafe?
Her face was practically pressed up against mine, and there was a blaze in her widened eyes. This is about how I had expected her to react. The question had both come seemingly out of nowhere, and it was a decision with a large scale and long-term ramifications. I wasn't asking her if she wanted to work at a cafe, but if she wanted to open one of her own. The unused space on the ground floor that Giselle had asked about on her first day here had in fact used to be a cafe run by an elderly couple. Eventually it got to be too much work for them to physically handle at their age, and they shut down the shop, leaving the space unused for some years. Among other reasons, the furnishings and equipment were old and needed replacing, so no one stepped in to take over the business. The fact that the property was on the edge of town rather than the heart of the city also kept a lot of prospective replacements away. Though the biggest reason was, no one had been actively advertising the space's availability. Not that I thought a for rent sign over the window would even bring anyone in, but nonetheless, it felt like a waste to leave the space unused. So I had originally been planning to renovate it into another apartment, and as the owner of the property, consolidating it all would make my life much easier. However, if Giselle was interested in using the space to run her own cafe, all that went out the window. Everything was still in the planning phase, so I could change course readily enough. I had enough savings to cover the purchase of new equipment. My parents would also likely try to help, but knowing us, Giselle and I would probably want to handle everything ourselves. But even after explaining everything, Giselle seemed far more perplexed than pleased.
I'm thrilled about the offer, genuinely so. It's just, owning a shop was more of a fantasy than anything, and I've never actually given it any serious thought. But most importantly, I don't have any experience. I've done some part-time work, but that's it. I'm not even remotely qualified to run my own cafe. I just got out of university. That much responsibility would steamroll me.
I hesitated to bring it up because I was fairly certain your reaction would be just that. And I do agree with you that experience is vital to embarking on an endeavor such as this.
Then why did you ask?
Because on second thought, I remembered you had a great deal of experience already.
What? I don't recall having any real work experience.
Not presently, no. As you said, you're a woman fresh out of university. But there's more to your story. You were, in the past, the daughter of a merchant, and I am certain you will be able to draw from your experiences in your many, many years as the maid as well.
Oh. But this is nothing like that. Working in a mansion and working in a restaurant are two completely different skill sets.
The work is certainly not the same, and times have changed, but I don't think the skill sets are necessarily that different. Both require you to be mindful of other people's needs and desires.
Mindful of others is the last thing I ever was as the maid.
I think you will find that not entirely true. Even as the maid, your heart was still present. Now, of course, this is entirely your decision. The path is available to you if you are all interested in taking it. That said, I believe it's perfectly fair to take an opportunity present before you, even if you feel you lack the experience to take proper advantage of it. And if you do, I'll be here to help with anything you need.
He's so good. He's so good. Wow, she's so lucky. I don't know. It doesn't feel right to just have it all dropped into my lap. Don't get me wrong, I'm thrilled. But I'm just not sure how I feel about having everything handed to me on a silver platter, like I didn't earn it myself. And then I have to wonder, what if I mess everything up? Which I know isn't a good attitude to have before even trying. But the renovations are going to cost money. And then what if it all goes to waste because of me?
Normally I'm the pessimist and you're the carefree one, but it would seem we've switched places today.
Can you blame me?
Don't worry about feeling like you have to do right by me or anything. That's not what I want you to focus on. We're walking this path together now. So if you're hesitant because you're afraid you'll make my life difficult, please don't be. Also, you said it doesn't feel right to have it all dropped in your lap, but all I can provide you is a foundation. You're the one who have to build upon it, Giselle. There will be many challenges. It won't be an easy task by any means. Perhaps you'll stumble and falter along the way, but there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. And I will always be here to help you get back on your feet. Whatever you want to do, that's what I want as well. Anyway, well, that ended up kind of rambling. The point is, I'm not going to force you to do anything.
We're walking this path together now almost sounds like a marriage proposal.
Well, that was the intent.
What?
I don't want to put a huge weight on your shoulders and then not be there to take some of it on my own, so if you do decide to open this cafe, let's get married first. Not that our getting married is conditional on you. What? Giselle! Giselle, her face as red as a beet, had fainted. Working up the courage to speak those words had taken a lot out of me, but no amount of preparation was enough for her actual response. We were already living together, so the matter of marriage only made a difference on paper, but I suppose I may have underestimated the potency of the word itself. I had tried to be as casual as possible about it too.
It's so cute. They're so cute. I could die. I'm gonna adjust my posture. Hang on just a second. Or rather, my sitting situation. Huh? It was all a dream?
It was all very real. How are you feeling? I didn't think you would actually faint.
Oh, Michelle, you really need to start giving me a heads up before you drop these bombs on me. First it was the cafe, then
Take a deep breath. You're not even to the word yet. I don't want you fainting on me again.
Then it was all this talk about getting married, which came totally out of left field. I can only handle so much at once.
My apologies. Timing and mood are not my strong suits, it seems.
That said, I'm elated. But could I have some time to think about the cafe? I want to be absolutely sure I make the right decision. Since it affects not just me, but you too.
Certainly. Take all the time you need, but please try not to work yourself up too much over it.
Okay, I'll try.
Giselle felt uncharacteristically silent. Quiet. Whatever. I can't talk today. What's wrong with me? And my legs falling asleep. Uncharacteristically quiet. Seemingly deep in thought. Then quite suddenly, she jumped to her feet and announced, "I'm going to take a little walk." She said she wanted time alone to consider, so I saw her to the door, and then she was off. It was the first time in a while we had been apart all my days off. Perhaps I should have taken this a bit slower, given how significant a choice it was. I was beginning to think that perhaps I had put too much on her plate at once. It It wasn't that any of the decisions were going to be unpleasant, but they would still require a great deal of consideration. I'd known Giselle long enough to trust she would reach a conclusion she was satisfied with, but still, I couldn't completely escape from my anxiety. Nonetheless, all I could do was wait. Time feels like it's crawled to a halt without Giselle here. I should check my phone. Maybe she's left a message. There's a rental inquiry, and it's from... Huh. You're kidding me.
We really have swapped places today. Normally Michelle would be the fretting indecisive one. I don't know what to do. It's a great opportunity and I do want to try running a cafe, but... Oh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't looking...
My bad, I was screwing around on my phone and...
No.
Huh. We sure do run into each other a lot, huh? You alone today? You sulking because you got in the fight with BF or something?
Oh, no, we're not fighting. It's nothing like that. Are you out for a walk, Maria? And whatever happened with you and your boss?
I got him to apologize, but that's about it. I'm still jobless, floating around looking for whatever.
I'm sorry to hear that. Maria seems like someone who's got a lot of experience, both in work and in life. Then again, I did spend 1,000 years as the maid, so I guess I do too.
Why the stare? Take a picture, why don't you? It'll last longer.
Maria has the... I'm sorry, okay. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is not like as much of a thing anymore, but there was a thing was like lesbians wear a thumb ring. She's wearing a thumb ring. I don't know if lesbians still do that. I don't wear thumb rings very often. I feel like they fall off too easily. Maria, I know this is kind of out of the blue, but do you mind if I ask your advice on something?
Well, that's something, all right. Now you're on the fence about whether to go through with it or not.
In a nutshell, yes.
If you don't mind me being blunt, I don't know what the hell the hang-up is. Your BF? Michelle, was it? He said he'd help you out, right? If you're scared of screwing up, well, you'll never get anything done with that attitude. Now, if you don't want to, that I can understand. The whole thing just sounds like a huge pain in the ass to me.
Oh no, I absolutely want to. I keep thinking about all the things I could do with it. How I want to decorate, what things I could have on the menu, what our selling points would be. I'm having so much fun just imagining it all.
So again, what's the hang-up?
I think I'm a little anxious because everything's going too well. It wasn't anything I did to get here, after all. It's all just been handed to me on a silver platter. But I know most people who try to open a cafe have to go through so much more. They have to fight so much harder to get where I am.
Just because it was harder for them doesn't make them special. And just because they fought to get there doesn't mean they're any more or less likely to succeed. The way I see it, you should take what's dangling in front of you while you got the chance. Who knows how long it'll actually be there. Spend too long telling yourself you don't deserve it or you're not ready, and by the time you think you are, it might be long gone. Take that silver platter and give him a gold one back later if you're that self-conscious about it. And if you're worried people would think you got it easy, who cares? Let those assholes think whatever they want.
Maria.
I mean, even I'm thinking, what the hell's this chick's problem? I'm out of job here and she's worrying about being too blessed.
I walked right into that.
Well, we're different people with different lives. And holding that against you ain't gonna make my life any better.
I love Reincarnation, Maria. I love you. I love you always. Requiem Maria's so good, but like, I don't know. She's just good.
What did I say? You look like your eyes are about to pop out of your head.
Oh, nothing bad, don't worry. It was really nice, actually, which kind of surprised me. I mean, this is the person whose grudge against Jacopo sparked their tragedy back then. Maybe that part of her was just amplified by the mansion's curse. And under normal circumstances, she's more laid back about things. Thank you, Maria. It's like a huge weight has been lifted from my shoulders.
I'm glad to hear it. Well, if me rambling at you is enough to clear your mind, you must not have been worrying too hard to begin with.
Maybe not. I was just working myself up about things, making them seem bigger than they were. But there's still one more problem I need to solve, and I would really, really appreciate it if you could help me with that.
Huh? Me? Help you? With what?
With starting up the cafe, if you wouldn't mind.
Huh.
I know it's completely out of the blue, but honestly, there's so much I wouldn't even know where to begin with. So it'd be really reassuring to have someone with lots of experience like you helping out.
Now you've gone straight up the deep end. You're asking someone you just met the other day to start a business with you. There's reckless, and then there's this. Holy shit, my sides.
Yeah, I guess I should have seen that one coming. I've known her for a long, long time, but as far as she's concerned, we've only just met. I'm sorry, I was being selfish. Pretend you didn't hear a thing.
Hold up, I never said no, did I?
What?
Sure, why not? The universe put me here for some reason. And if it means I don't have to go looking for a job, all the better.
You will? Really? I totally put you on the spot, and I can't even promise anything will work out, you know? Are you really willing to put your trust in someone you just met the other day? You thought we were con artists or cultists the last time.
You're the one who asked me. Don't go popping your own balloon. I'm in a betting mood today. My fate's in the universe's hands, so don't worry about me. I know I called you sketchy before, but my gut tells me I can trust you now. I feel like we've worked together somewhere before. What the hell am I even saying? Oh. So that's the end of that. Nice working with you, boss.
Boss might be a little premature, but yes, it's nice to have you on board, Maria.
I never had to build a place from the ground up before. That should be fun.
It'll be a lot of work, but we can do it. Yay, I love that I love this. I love this. I love that this is how this story ends up developing. When Giselle returned, it seemed as though all her apprehensions had vanished in a puff of smoke. She was set on moving forward with the cafe, and evidently she had also found someone to lend her a hand, Maria. I was more than a little curious as to how exactly the pieces fell in the way they did. Maria had just lost her job, though, so the arrangement worked out well for everyone involved. And then after Giselle had filled in on everything on her end, I gave her an update on my own. There would likely be someone moving in on the second floor in the near future. And our prospective new tenant was possibly someone we both knew quite well. Giselle's weekdays from then on were spent scrambling to sort through the mountain of tasks that would be necessary for opening a new cafe. Even when I was at the office and not around to help, she sent me regular updates on her progress. Because we weren't in the city, and the majority of customers were likely to be locals, she said she wanted to make it into a comfy, inviting space. I helped out whenever I had time off work, and time again, I found myself amazed at the progress. At this pace, it seemed likely the cafe would be ready to open for business in time for summer. The other day, Maria had apparently brought in an acquaintance of hers to construct the counter, and the both of us were quite caught off guard when we found out exactly who that acquaintance was. Good morning, Maria!
Morning, Giselle. I gave your address to the guy I was telling you about, so he should be here shortly. You make sure to work him to the bone.
Oh no, I could never. I feel bad enough having him help in the first place. He really should be hiring a carpenter to take care of this sort of thing.
What's the big deal? He says he loves building stuff and hard labor. What are your connections if not for using? Especially at times like this.
Well, if you insist. She never did tell me his name, but out of all of Maria's acquaintances I know, I'm guessing it's Jacopo? Hello? What'd they do to you? He's domesticated. Apologies. It took longer to get here than I'd hoped.
Oh, what? It's you?
Is she okay? She seems rather perturbed.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. She gets kind of kooky sometimes.
I see. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Yukimasa Aida. Leave all the heavy lifting to me. That's what I'm here for.
Right, yeah. I'm Giselle. Nice to meet you. You stabbed me one time.
Are you sure she's okay?
I'm fine. She's not fine at all. How in the world did the two of them find each other? Why are Maria and Yukimasa end up friends? What could have happened to form this pairing?
Well, let's get to work then. Has the lumber been delivered already? If so, I'd like to saw it into smaller pieces so it's easier to move. I have plenty of experience, so leave it to me.
You better have proper PE. Fucking safety goggles and shit. I sure hope he doesn't mean he has lots of experience sawing up people to make their bodies easier to move.
Neither Giselle nor I had expected him to show up at Maria's introduction. Nonetheless, work progressed smoothly. And by the time the last vestiges of spring began yielding way to the coming summer, the cafe's interior design had largely taken shape. And then, near the end of May, our apartment's newest resident was scheduled to arrive. We both took the day off, waiting impatiently for her arrival. We prayed it would be the reunion we had long anticipated.
Coming! It'll be just a second.
I'll get it.
It's probably the new girl. We should both go out and greet her.
Yep, you were right. It's our new neighbor. It's a pleasure to have you, and we believed with all our souls that the world was filled with hope, and we believed with all our souls that everything was better now, that this was a wholly happy reunion, that we were all free of suffering and torment, tragedies a mere relic of the past, that we had all been given completely fresh starts. And while that much was true, it also wasn't the full story. We held only a small fragment of it. We knew nothing of what had transpired in the past year, before our paths had crossed with theirs once more. In each of their new tales, we took neither the role of observers, nor the players able to offer them our hands. They lived their own lives, well beyond our reach, and in them they found what they needed to push forward, to forge their own paths.
Oh boy. Oh boy. 1 year earlier. Wonder what we're gonna be starting with. Early April. Seeing glass. This is chapter 1. Or you could say door 1.
When you think of Paris, what comes to mind? Delicious French cuisine, fancily decorated streets, trend-setting fashion. There's all that and more. It's like a treasure chest overflowing with priceless wonders. Did I miss anything? Oh, I guess there are lots of historical landmarks too, but I could care less about boring stuff like that. I didn't want to go to Paris to feel like I was at school. I wanted to be wowed. The Chateau
Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't do French. Versailles? Chateau de Versailles?
I could make an exception for, though. But this was my first ever vacation without my mum, just me and my friends, and I wanted to have as much fun as I could. I wanted to go to a cafe. I wanted to get chocolate from a chocolatier. I wanted to use all the allowance I'd saved up to see a show at the Opera House. I had plans to keep me busy for days, and yet somehow...
Ugh! Why did you have to run out of battery on me now, you stupid phone? I was standing smack in the middle of a busy sidewalk all by myself. Of course today would be the day I leave my charger in the hotel. I can't find any phone booths either. Not that I even remember any other numbers. Why is it so much of a pain when your phone dies away from home? I was in Paris with a few of my friends for spring break, but we got separated and my phone was out of battery, so I had no way of getting in touch with them. I went into a bunch of different shops to ask if I could borrow a charger, but they either said they were busy and sent me away, or only had an outlet to offer. Though the worst was when they didn't speak English at all. which was pretty disappointing. You'd think they'd at least speak the language of the fanciest shops in the city.
Nope, not in Paris.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't bad to think the world revolved around me because I spoke English. But that's beside the point. I was stranded in the middle of Paris and nothing changed that. What was I going to do? Just go back to the hotel, maybe? If my stupid phone were working, we could have just met up somewhere and this would all be over. But no, it just had to die on me. How did people even survive without phones before?
I love Reincarnation Nelly so much. Her outfit is banger, first of all. Second of all, she's great. She's just great.
Way to ruin my trip. Jeez.
Hey there. Is there anything I can help you with?
A stranger's talking to me. They must think I'm the prettiest thing in the world and acting all friendly just to try to trick me into their car and steal me away. Mum always told me to be wary of strange city men trying to talk to you. You won't fool me that easily. No, not a problem in the world. I don't need anyone's help or anything, so go on your...
Hi, Mel. Okay. Sorry to bother you. Have a nice...
I need help. I need all the help in the world. I can't do anything without help.
I love her. Huh? Wait, you do? Didn't you say you didn't...
I said no such thing. You must have misheard. So, right. I would very much appreciate your help.
Oh, okay. Look at her little... Look at this sprite. Tell me she's not the cutest fucking thing you've ever seen.
No way! He's the prince from the school next to mine! What gives? What's he doing here in Paris? What kind of crazy twist of fate is this? I love you, God. You made me think today was my unlucky day when it was actually really my super luckiest day. The second I saw him, I went stupid. He had the same soft flaxen-colored hair and gentle eyes as me. There were no way he wasn't my prince. Every day on my way home from school, I would try to find him. A glimpse from behind or the side was enough to make my day. I first caught sight of him just after I started secondary school. There was an event going on at a nearby school, and I happened to see a bunch of guys leaving. There were so many of them, but my gaze still gravitated toward one in particular. Him. And from that moment, he was my prince. My friends made fun of me for having a prince at 14. We were practically adults by now. But I didn't care what anyone said. He was my prince. And now for some reason, he was here in Paris and not at school in London. If this was a dream, I hoped I would never wake.
Sure, I'm happy to help. Anything you need, just ask.
He truly is a prince.
Huh? Did you say something?
No, not a thing. Don't worry about it. So, I got separated from my friends, but my phone's battery died and I didn't bring my charger.
That's rough. What kind of phone is it? I always carry a charger. I just need to know if it'll work with your phone. Can I see it?
Yeah, sure. Here. When I handed him my phone, our fingers brushed against each other for the briefest of moments. My face went red in an instant, and I could feel my heart pounding in the back of my throat. Every day I'd wished I'd had the courage to talk to him after school, but I'd never managed to gather up enough to actually do it. Never in 1,000 years had I expected my dream to come true on this trip, and for it to be him who talked to me first. The longer I gazed at him, the more handsome he seemed, and he was super kind to boot, the very image of a prince.
Oh, good. My charger should work with this. We should hopefully be able to turn it back on once it's been charging for a few minutes. Can I, have a little space?
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Nelly, get your head out of the clouds.
So you're Nelly then? That's a cute name.
Cute? He just called me cute! I mean, yeah, I was cute, obviously, but hearing from him was another thing completely, sorry.
Between the vibrating sprite and I am cute, duh, but... I love her. Are you alright? Your face is all red and you're trembling like crazy. Are you unwell?
No. I've never felt better. I'm just a little surprised, you know? I've had my eyes on you for so long, walking home from school every day.
Huh?
That makes it sound like I've been stalking you. No, I just mean I've seen you sometimes on the way home.
Oh, I see. Well, imagine that. I've spotted you a few times myself. Something about you just caught my eye.
What?
Is he saying he fell in love with me at first sight and my love isn't unrequited? Just how long is his lucky streak going to last? I don't mean that in a creepy way, I promise. It's just we have the same colour hair, and I always get this strange feeling like we'd met somewhere before.
I wish you did mean it in a creepy way. I guess my love's back to being unrequited. I shouldn't have expected everything to go like a fairy tale. But he did know who I was. That alone pretty much makes it fate. I can use this chance to get closer to him and then make my dream into reality.
So, are you really okay? You've been silently staring at me for a few minutes now. I'm great! If you say so. I really like his sweater. I would wear that. Oh, it turned on. You can call your friends now.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to go call them. You wait here.
Huh? Yeah, sure. Is there any reason she can't do it here?
Hey, yeah. Yes, my phone battery's died. I'm on the Champs-Élysées, not too far from the Arc de Triomphe. But can we meet it back up later? Why? Because I'll tell you about it later, okay? Just have fun and don't worry about me for now. No, I'm fine. I'm not in trouble. I promise. Sorry to ditch you like this. I'll call you back in a bit. Bye!
Oh, welcome back. Does it look like you'll be able to meet back up?
Actually, it doesn't. They ended up going on a tour, so they're busy with that right now. It's a pretty long one, too, so I'm stuck here all alone until it's done.
Wow, it wasn't very nice of them to go off without you, huh?
Yeah, aren't they the worst?
I'm so sorry, guys. Did they say what tour they were going on?
Huh? It was, something about
exploring ruins? Oh, yeah, seeing the major ruins around the city does seem like it'd take a long time. Yeah, because there's shit, I forgot what it's called, but there's the underwater pathways and stuff.
Yeah, it will, for sure. So, if you're not too busy...
Do you want to find somewhere we can sit down?
Yes, I do!
That's the spirit. Oh yeah, I suppose I should introduce myself. My name's Mel. I'm 17 and I go to school not too far from you. Nice to meet you.
You already heard my name, but I'm Nellie. I'm 14 and I go to school not too far from yours. Mel, it's nice to meet you too.
Well, shall we?
I can't believe he said I was going first. I was right. He really is a prince. This is the best day ever, and it's only just started.
Yeah, like the catacombs is what I'm thinking of. Hush, hush, hush. My leg keeps falling asleep. Man, having a really flat ass. Sorry. Sorry to drag you so far out of the way. Everything's just so busy at this time of day. And anywhere that isn't packed isn't likely to let a couple of kids our age in.
Oh no, not at all. I'm fine with anywhere. You don't have to go out of your way to look for somewhere nice.
That makes things a lot easier, honestly. The girls in my class are always saying how you're only supposed to bring a girl to a nice fancy place when you take her out. And as much as I love to do that, it's a bit much to ask from a student, you know? Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to start complaining at you.
Don't be. I agree with you entirely. I'm not going to make you pay for me or anything either. I've got plenty of allowance saved up. We can go half and half.
Are you sure about that? The girls in my class would have a coronary if they heard that.
I'm not one of those old-fashioned girls who thinks it's a guy's responsibility to do everything. Though if it were any other guy, I'd been totally in agreement with his classmates.
I really appreciate it, but at least let me take a bigger portion. I am older and I have a job, even if it is part-time.
Oh, you do? Well, in that case, what do you do for work? I'm sure his job is as lovely as him. A waiter at a 3-star restaurant, perhaps?
I work at an antique shop. It's nice because it's so laid back.
What? That's not what I expected. But it's certainly unique, which is good, yeah.
Thanks. Oh, hey, I think I see a cafe down there in the alley. That sign there looks the part. You see it?
Oh, yeah, I do. It does look like one. I wonder if they get much traffic out that far out of the way.
Who knows? It could turn out to be a buried treasure. Let's check it out. This is less buried treasure.
And more or just plain buried? The sign says open, but it looks dead. We stood before a lonely, weathered cafe. It was so sad I wasn't even sure if it could be called a cafe anymore. It seemed like someone kept it clean, at least, but it still looked like it could fall down at any second. Even the windows had turned cloudy. I hesitantly peeked through, and inside I saw a young waitress gazing off into space. Alarm bells were going off in my head, and under any other circumstances I would have turned back and gone somewhere else right then and there. But it did have one thing going for it. There were no other customers at all. It would be beyond impossible to find any other establishment in Paris as empty as this one.
Maybe we should look for another place. As quiet as it looks, I'm sure you didn't want to come all the way out to Paris to go to a place like this.
I don't know. I think I'm okay with this. It could still turn out to be terrible, but at the same time, you're probably not going to find anything quite like this in Paris.
Wow, alright. You're a lot more adventurous than I am.
I'm not sure if adventurous is the right word. What would he think if I said it was because I really just wanted to be alone with him? Me too, my dear Nellie, he whispers into my ear as he lights another candle, brushing aside my hair with the back of his hand. It's because I just, really want to be alone with... Oh!
Hey, Nellie, don't just stare at it. Let's go inside.
What? Hey, wait for me! Wow, customers! When was the last time we had any of those? Good afternoon, take any seat you like. I thought that was your job to expect customers.
It looks nice on the inside than I expected. How about we get a window seat so we can sit anywhere?
Mel was right. The cafe was much nicer on the inside than the exterior suggested. It was neat and tidy, and had the pleasant aroma of coffee filled the air. The furnishings and decorations were a bit on the old-fashioned side. There was no hiding the fact that it was dead, but it did still have a kind of cozy atmosphere to it. Of course, I'm sure I only felt that way because I was with Mel. If I had been with friends, I probably would have been complaining so much that they couldn't find a single thing to like about the place. Mel courteously led me to a table by the window. What a wonderfully chivalrous gentleman he'd been raised as.
I'm sorry, I just got distracted with the... What's the menu? Why does it say dollars? Shouldn't it be euros? Natural oysters. Rock... I can't read it. Pacific Coffin Bay. Vinetto salami. Olives. Fleur de Lane. Salmon carpaccio. With white anchovies. The ingredient. Sorry, I've never properly read the menu. I also like how the menu just runs out of space.
The waitress came and took our orders as soon as we sat down. Mel asked for a coffee, and I asked for soda. She didn't bother to hide how not at all thrilled she was to have to do work, but she wasn't rude or dismissive to us either. And once our drinks arrived, Mel and I started chatting. I could hardly believe this was our first time ever having a real conversation. It honestly felt like we'd known each other for ages.
Wonder why. No. Oh, sorry. Oh, wow. So this is your first time out of the country?
Yeah. Supposedly I went on a family vacation overseas once when I was a little baby, but I don't remember any of it. So I don't think it actually counts, and this is my first real experience abroad. What about you, Mel? Do you travel much?
Not really, no. I'm more of an outdoorsy guy who spends most of his time at home reading.
Oh, really? What brings you here to Paris, then? A personal vacation or something?
It's not really a vacation so much as a business trip, I guess. Remember I said I work part-time at an antique shop. The owner hurt his back, and he sent me so the ticket didn't go to waste. I'm here to see a flea market taking place tomorrow. But I had today off, so I was exploring the city, which is when I found you.
Oh, wow, you're here for work? That sounds rough.
Aww. Well, I mean, it barely even counts as work, really. I still can't tell junk from anything with actual value, so I'm really just shopping blind. I'm pretty sure the owner didn't want the ticket to go to waste, so he figured it best to give it to someone who'd at least be able to enjoy the trip. He's a bit of an eccentric old man, but he means well and has a big heart, so I decided to take him up on his offer. I just realized this is Hayden. This is Hayden. Oh. Unless it's the priest. It could be the priest. I'm gonna believe it's Hayden Rhodes, reincarnated, not as his grandfather. That makes my heart really warm to think about. Okay. It's not every day that a free trip to Paris literally falls in your lap like that, you know?
Yeah, that's really something. Hey, do you think I could come with you to the flea market tomorrow? It sounds like a lot of fun.
Normally I wouldn't mind, but you're here with friends. It wouldn't be nice to blow them off like that.
But I can go on another trip with them whenever I want.
You don't know that for sure. I had a friend in primary school who I thought I'd be with forever, but life pulled us apart when we started secondary. So I believe you should make the most of the time you have with them right now. Besides, I'm sure they came on this trip with you because they wanted to spend this time with you.
Well, I mean, sure, I guess. I do kind of feel bad about ditching them to hang out with Mel. And I do want to spend more time with him too, but if I keep this up, I probably won't have any friends at all.
Our little dessert, oh my god. Hold on, hold the fucking phone. That looks delicious. Oh no, I want that. Uh-oh. I really want that. I wonder if my grocery store has a bakery. I gotta think about, is there a bakery? I gotta go look. There is. There is. Okay, I'm going back to the grocery store, I guess.
But I really want to make the most of meeting you too, Mel. How many more chances will we have to go to a flea market together?
Huh? They have flea markets in England too. We can always go see one when we're back home. There's no reason we have to go antique shopping at this particular flea market, is there?
What? Oh, we can? Yes, let's go out when we're back home.
Of course, let's. I have to remember to get your number before we leave.
It's not the antiques I care about, though.
I'm surprised you're so interested in antiques. I took you as more of a digital age girl, but it looks like I read you wrong. Then again, it was you who wanted to come here, so maybe I shouldn't be so surprised you've got an interest in old-fashioned and historical stuff. I bet you're really disappointed you couldn't make it on the tour of the ruins. So the catacombs? I don't want to go to Paris. It's like one of those cities in the world I'm really not interested in going to. There are other parts of France I would have interest in going to. Paris is not one of them. However, the catacombs sound so cool. However, on top of that, also really terrifying. That feels super cursed. And like, I'm sure it's really cool, but I'm too terrified to do it. So anyway.
Huh? Ruins? Oh, right! Yes, a terrible shame. History is my favorite class in school, so I was really looking forward to it. Oh, that was close. I totally forgot that was my story. And I hate history class.
I'm a huge history nerd too. It's amazing to think about all those wars from so long ago. Empires rising and falling, borders shifting, and how it all somehow leads up to this very moment. It's sort of, I don't know, humbling, I guess. Like it's our foundation and we're a part of it. So what's your favorite era from history?
What? What era? I think if I had to choose one, it would have been Marie Antoinette's era.
The French Revolution. It was a very turbulent time and the basis for a lot of books and movies, Les Mis. So I can understand why so many people gravitate toward it.
Yeah, it's great. Really very, big and big.
Have you been to the Place de la Concorde yet?
Huh? The Concorde Palace? Yeah, of course. I went straight there. It was lovely. Imagine that, a whole monument dedicated to Marie Antoinette's love of condors. Did I get something wrong? Did Marie not like condors? It all came out of nowhere and I have no idea what he's talking about.
My pronunciation must have been off. It's called the Place de la Concorde. It's where King Louis the 16th was executed by a guillotine. I'm rusty on my Roman numerals. I haven't played Final Fantasy in too long.
King Louis XVI was executed by guillotine? What? Spoiler alert!
Are you really a history fan?
But enough about that. I'd rather talk about TV if you're interested.
Sure, I don't mind.
Phew, crisis averted. If I let that go on much longer, he would definitely think I was an idiot. I'm not stupid, I just don't care about history. My marks in music are great, but what if he was talking about is supposed to be common knowledge? Maybe I should try a little harder in history. What kind of TV are you into, Mel?
To tell you the truth, I don't watch much TV. Oh, but there is this one cartoon I'm a big fan of, at the risk of sounding kiddie. It's called Catawallop. It's about this cat that solves every problem by punching it. It's really rather amusing. I love that. I love that for you.
How you doing? Anyone want a refill?
Oh yes, another coffee please. What about you, Nelly? More of the same?
Oh, I think I'd like to try something new over here. Do you have any recommendations, ma'am? Sorry to disappoint, but we don't really have anything worth mentioning here. The menu's just your run-of-the-mill cafe lineup, and the coffee beans are just stuff we bought at the shop down the street.
Wow, fascinating. How on earth hasn't this place gone under yet? Give it a year.
Now, if I had to pick something, maybe the Cafe LA. But only because I can make a killer cup. I'll have that then. Coming right up. But man, we really do never get tourists in here. Where are you two from?
England. I attend school in London.
Oh, nice. Big city kids, huh? Aren't there plenty of cool things to do back home, though? Not much point in coming out all this way, is there?
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. Going somewhere new is always eye-opening and exciting.
Have you ever been to England? Just once, forever ago. I used to go backpacking all over the place. Spent a little time there. Everything's expensive as hell, so the food tastes like boiled ass, so I bailed pretty quickly.
She's so right. England is not known for its food, and it should never be.
Oh crap, sorry. Didn't mean to dunk on your home. Pretend I never said any of that.
Don't worry about it. We hear that all the time.
There is plenty of good food too, you know. A fresh scone with a dollop of whipped cream and a hot cup of tea is absolutely divine.
The scones, I will say.
Afternoon tea, was it? Yeah, I never did get to try that one. Maybe next time I'm in the area. If you like, give me a call when you're in the country. I'll show you all my favorite restaurants. I know, you should come with us, Mel. I'm sure it would be lovely if just the three of us had tea together.
Yeah, that sounds great. The more the merrier, I say.
You're not just saying that to be polite, are you? 'Cause yeah, I'd totally be down. I'll give you my number later. Alright, well, I'll be back. I've got some beans to brew. And sorry for butting in on your little sibling vacation time. That's something I never got to experience myself, so hope you enjoy the rest of your trip. She thinks with siblings. I thought anyone would assume we're on a date.
Is that what you want people to think, Nelly?
Oh, well...
I'm teasing. We only just met after all. We're barely acquaintances.
Yeah, we're just acquaintances.
Though I can understand why she'd assume we're related. We do look a lot alike.
Really? I don't think we do at all.
Sorry? I just felt a kind of connection because we look so much alike, which I thought was really nice.
No, just to be clear, I don't want to not look like you. In fact, I think it's nice that we do, just... I'd rather when people looked at us, they thought we were...
Thought we were what? Though we were what?
Her ringtone!
Oh, that's you, Nelly. I bet it's your friends calling to say the tour is over.
Yeah, probably. It really was my friends calling. And since I had answered with Mel sitting across from me, I couldn't lie to them anymore. Which meant I had to meet back up with them in the end of my time with Mel. I wished I could stay longer, but sadly that was life. We exchanged phone numbers before leaving though, so it wasn't like that was my last chance to ever see him. I was looking forward to going back to England much more now. Which was especially funny considering when we landed here, me and my friends were all clamoring about how we wish we could live in Paris. But now my beloved London was where I wanted to be the most. Oh yeah.
Oh, oops. That was going to be Maria talking. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and I also got the waitress's number too before I left. And she told me with a big smile on her face that I could call her any time whenever I visited France. I was thinking maybe I would ask her for the answer to the biggest mystery of my trip so far, how that cafe was still in business when no one visited it. Jokes aside, I would probably try to get in touch with her sometime.
She was a very friendly woman, not afraid to speak her mind, and I thought we would get along wonderfully. They are like the bro TP of the series, though. No one ever talks about how great their friendship is, but they are so good. One day I'll draw them together.
But more importantly, she was too old to go after my Mel.
The music in Reincarnation is very relaxing. Well, I guess this is farewell for now, Nelly. I'm glad I ran into you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your trip.
Me too, Mel. I'll text you whenever I've got time, okay? And I hope you find what you're looking for at the flea market.
Thanks. I'll try not to let anyone trick me into buying any rubbish. See you again back in England.
Yeah, see you soon. I feel like I've been in a dream for the past few hours. It's just all so unreal, all so amazingly incredible. That I wasn't just gazing at my prince from afar, but he was looking back. And that I somehow ran into him on vacation in Paris, and we got to spend so much time talking together. I hope this wonderful feeling never ends.
Sorry, Nelly, you're still in the House of Fata Morgana game.
I managed to meet back up with my friends, but my head was stuck in the clouds for the rest of the day. We went to a lovely cafe together, and we got chocolate from a chocolatier together, and we did everything I wanted to do in Paris. But all the pretty sights and fancy shops melted away from that one quiet cafe abandoned to my memory. And his smiling profile as he gazed out the window.
Very sweet. Their house is dope. Their house is fucking dope. Like, if this was the front of my house, I would scream. Anyway, I'm trying to unzip my fucking... No! 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 How do I do this? There we go. Anyway.
Spring vacation was over in the blink of an eye, and before I knew it, I was back to my hectic school life. I had a club to participate in, private lessons to attend, and so much other work it was enough to make my head spin. Grown-ups, or well, at least Mum, always talked about how students had it easy compared to them, but being a student sure didn't seem easy to me.
Being a student is not easy. It's a lot to remember. Can we just all agree that life is not easy? Anyway.
Dealing with people was especially a pain, and I wish you would stop acting like being in school was all fun and games. That said, things had been going amazingly well for me recently, so I really couldn't blame her for thinking that. The biggest, most important thing was obviously being able to talk with Mel. Whenever I sent him a text, he always made time to send a reply, and whenever I sent him a cute sticker, he always sent one in return. And every time it put a stupid grin on my face. I even got my phone confiscated once for messing with it in class. We hadn't gone anywhere together yet, like we said we would in Paris, but we'd been talking about it and making plans for a while now. And when we saw each other on the way home from school, he always waved. Things were going quite well, if I do say so myself. We were practically literally going out by now.
Oh god, she's such a 14-year-old.
When the other girls in my class saw us, they would scream about how jealous they were that I was actually getting close to my prince. And who could blame them? Mel was a wonderful boy. But he was my wonderful boy. I wouldn't let them have him, no matter what.
Fuck him up, Nelly. Tell him. I would be the worst with Nelly. I'd be like, yeah, Nelly.
So anyway, things between me and Mel were going smoother than I ever could have dreamed for. But today he wasn't responding to my texts. Normally he sent something back pretty quickly. Had something happened? Had I said something that upset him? Or was he just getting tired of all my messages? I couldn't focus on anything else. I kept looking at my phone every few minutes. I didn't see him on the way back from school, so I was nervous wrecked the entire way home. I'm back. What's this? 2 pairs of men's shoes. Do we have company? I wonder whose they could be. Mom, are you there? Is someone visiting? Oh, Nelly, perfect timing. I was just about to phone you. Huh? I walked into the living room and Mum was standing there waiting with a big smile on her face. It had been a while since I'd seen her in such high spirits. Behind her, I could see 2 figures. One was a man I didn't recognize, and the other... What? Was the prince I hadn't heard from all day.
Nelly, what are you doing here?
That's my question. What are you doing in my house, Mel? What's going on here? Oh my, you two already know each other? Well, that will make this go much quicker then. Your mummy's getting remarried. What? Are you crazy? You can't just do that. Now, Nelly, it's not very ladylike to shout. I'm sorry we couldn't talk about this sooner, but you can't say I didn't try. I've been trying to get you to sit down and talk with me, but you can never be bothered. But you can't just get remarried without talking to me.
I'm sorry we started you, Nelly. You're right, we should have talked to you before it progressed to this point, and I understand why you're upset. It's a pleasure to meet you, for the first time in many years. I'm here to discuss the matter with you and your mother, Nelly, so don't worry, we won't decide on anything without you.
For the first time in many years? Had I met him before?
Well, this is unexpected. Dad told me I had a sister, but I never would have guessed it was you. But I'm really relieved it turned out to be you and not some girl I'd never met before.
What? Hold on, why are you just going along with this, Mel? If Mum's getting remarried, that means everyone in this room is going to be family, doesn't it? Which will make us brother and sister, Mel.
Are you unhappy with being my sister?
I never said that, just... Hold on a second, Nelly. Use your brain. Even if Mum marries this man, it only makes Mel my stepbrother, so technically there's no problem. I've seen it on TV before. A boy and girl's parents get married, they start living together and get close, and eventually get married. Think about it. We'll be living together. This is actually perfect. I'll have way more chances now to woo him with how adorable I am. You're a genius, Nelly. I am sorry we went and did all this without involving you, but you are always telling me how much you wish you weren't an only child. Now our family's going to be back to the way it was always supposed to be, and I hope you'll be able to see it that way too. Hold on a second. What do you mean the way it was always supposed to be?
I was afraid that wouldn't get the point across. You see, Nelly, this isn't like most people's second marriages. Your mother and I, we divorced 14 years ago.
Huh?
What I'm trying to say is, we were all one big family once, and I'm so glad to be able to see my daughter again after so many years.
Excuse me? We were divorced 14 years ago. We were all one big family once. I'm so glad to be able to see my daughter again. What on earth was this man about? It all sounded like a bunch of nonsense to me. It's no wonder this all comes as such a big surprise. We divorced not long after you were born, Nelly. Huh? Slow down. What is this some kind of joke? Are you saying Mel isn't going to be my stepbrother, but that we've always been blood related? Yes, that's right. Mel is your one and only brother, so I hope you two get along.
Rip.
Everything they were saying was gibberish to me. Why couldn't they just say it was a joke so we could be done with this? It felt like the floor was sinking away from under me. And if it couldn't be a joke, how about a bad dream? I came home from school just to find out I suddenly had a brother, and of everyone in the world, it just happened to be my prince. As I stood there in silence, the blood draining from my face, my mum and this man, who was supposedly my dad, kept on talking and talking and talking. About how when they first split up, they were on such bad terms they were certain they would never speak again. About how my mum tried to get custody of us both, but it was decided she was too sickly to raise 2 children on her own. About how they bought this house together when they first married. That must have been why it had always felt so spacious. The living room was too big for a single mother and her daughter, and the master bedroom was even worse. And then there was the other bedroom that nobody used at all. But whenever I asked her about it, Mum got real moody, so I avoided the subject. It wasn't like it caused any problems for us, after all. But this was not the answer I was expecting.
I was going to tell you everything when you turned 15, but it turns out so much time apart cleared the air between your father and I entirely. We started seeing each other again recently, and it was like all our problems just vanished. We were chatting away like best friends before I even knew it.
Before long, we started talking about giving things another try. What do you think, Nellie? Would you be okay with us living here with you? I know we were apart for a very, very long time, but I still believe the best thing for a family is for them to be together.
Stop it. You can't just decide everything. This is my life too. Quit smiling like you think you're doing what's best for me. I hate you. I hate this. I hate everything. Every new word they said felt like it dripped another hole into my heart. Were they monsters? Did they not realize they were ruining everything? Taking away everything that made me happy? What do I think? I wanted to say, I think it's the worst idea in the world, but I bit my tongue. Yes, I was still shaken by all this new information. And yes, I was still angry about them not doing this behind my back. But that was all irrelevant in the face of the fact that Mel was my actual blood-related big brother. Even if I opposed their marriage and stopped them from moving in, it wouldn't change anything. There was nothing I could do to fix it. Are we absolutely 100% really blood-related siblings? There couldn't be some kind of mix-up, could there? I can promise you that you are without a doubt very much brother and sister.
Could there be any question when you look so much alike? Nellie, so, you seem pretty unhappy about being my sister. We got on so well. I thought you would be thrilled. I know I was.
You... what?
Absolutely. I really enjoy spending my time with you, Nellie. And finding out you're my sister makes a lot of pieces fall into place. Remember when I said there was something that caught my eye the first time I spotted you? It's because that wasn't the first time. Obviously, I barely remember anything from when I was 3, and obviously you look completely different than you did as a baby. But I think somewhere deep down I remembered that I had a sister. Which is why I'm so pleased to be able to finally see you again. Oh, I'm sorry. I know this is all really sudden, so I understand if you're opposed to us all living together.
No, I'm not. I'm elated to be able to live with you, Mel.
I'm so glad to hear it.
The part wasn't a lie. Of course I wanted to be around him. Of course I wanted to spend as much time as I could with him. But still, I couldn't bring myself to be excited about it. Because we were going to be together as family, as brother and sister. Nothing more. Had Mel only been so gentlemanly in France because some part of him had realized I was his sister? Did he not see me as a girl at all? Was that all progress I was so excited about just a figment of my imagination? Afterwards, I just spaced out. Everyone was talking about how excited they were for all the fun things we would do together, but I felt like there were actors on stage, and I was in the audience at the very back. They tried to cheer me up, tried to say I could tell them anything, but no, I couldn't. I could never tell them what was really troubling me. Besides, they seemed to be enjoying themselves just fine without me. I couldn't barge in on that and say, no, I don't want us to be family. I could read the room well enough to realize that. Mom was always telling me I was spoiled and self-centered, but the truth was I held myself back plenty. We had supper together that night, and then Mel and his dad went back to their house. Mom tried to get them to stay the night, but his dad turned her down, saying I probably needed time to process everything. And he was right! I was on the verge of breaking down already! If Mel was to stay the night, I probably would have snapped. Maybe his dad could see that the smile I was putting on was fake. And then, when they were gone, Mom started acting really let down. And seeing that, I almost blew up at her. Whose fault did she think this was, anyway? Why was she acting like I was the one being unreasonable? Maybe she should look in a mirror. But I bit my tongue before I started lashing out at her. It was easy to get upset at her. As far as I was concerned, I had every right to be. But the problem was, yelling at her wouldn't solve anything. I could yell and shout and scream until my throat went raw, but it wouldn't do anything to soothe my aching heart. I could run away into a fit of rage, it still wouldn't change a thing. It would be anger for its own sake, and it would wear me thin. There was no solution. My only choice was to face reality. But I couldn't just snap my fingers and tell myself to move on. It wasn't that easy. Not even close. I spent the whole night letting off steam, screaming on the inside about everyone and everything. Hurling my favorite stuffed animals around my room. Pounding my fists into my pillows until they were flat. Anything to vent even a little bit of frustration. Until I passed out from exhaustion. When I woke up the next morning, my face was covered in dried streaks of tears. I couldn't go to school looking like this. So I told my mum I was feeling ill. Stayed holed up at home all day. But no matter how frustrating and infuriating life gets, the time only ever moves forward. It doesn't stop to let you collect yourself, and it especially doesn't go backwards. So things kept progressing around me, not giving me a chance to come to terms with any of it. And then before I knew it, a full week had passed.
I'm gonna actually stop here. It's a good stopping point. And also, I'm still recovering from the dryness that was the state of Utah. How do y'all survive? Anyway, next week though, same time, same place, but for longer. I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be a good time. I love Reincarnation Nelly. Look at this outfit. Sorry. Look at this outfit. Girl, work. Mel's is good too, but hers, that's good. That's good shit. Yeah, Sunday evening, Grandia 2, continuing that. And then yeah, next week, same time, same place, but for at least the normal amount of time, if not longer. I hope you are staying well. Be safe out there. It's a crazy world we live in. For those of you who are siblings, hug your sibling. Tell your sibling you love them. Send them a meme. Probably gonna send a meme to my brother. Sibling relationships are really important. They are really treasures. Now, if you have a reason, a really legit reason to not get along with your sibling, that's also really valid. Families aren't perfect, as we can clearly see from this story. Yeah, but I am looking forward to this. Hope you are too. And I think also we will be finishing this game by the end of this year. And then we're starting on a new series. That's exciting. Very exciting. Yeah. On that note, bye.